Hey guys, it's the Gay Lovers Podcast. You know, you gotta have your little opening. It will never be consistent for this podcast because one, I don't give a fuck, and two, no one who's listening does. And by no one who's listening, I mean literally like a handful of our friends. So
the two people who are actually gonna watch after we.
yes, exactly. So today we are going to be talking about recent news, just what's going on. In case anyone's wondering what today is, it's the 18th of August, 2019, and we're going to be talking about some fun stuff that's been happening in the world that I know a lot about, and
I'm
Haska's been out
not
of the
too
loop about.
informed about.
Yeah, and so he's gonna sit back and listen to me, and he's gonna lament how this is the world we live in nowadays. And honestly, uh, if Ken Ham could send God to take me out of this pain, it would be greatly appreciated. Greatly appreciated. I don't know how the world went to shit so fast. God, we need a flood numero deux. Please. I know he wouldn't like me speaking in multiple languages.
Dude,
You
you
know,
can't
seeing as
remember
how-
that. That's why we can't build skyscrapers.
I know. So inconsiderate. Anyway, so Oscar, what do you want to start with? Do you want to start with Europe? You want to start about what's going on in England right now?
No,
You want to start with the shit show
I was
that's
talking about some
America?
fried chicken being important.
Yes. Okay. So I'll start from the beginning. So England, and in particular London, has a lot of fucking knife crimes. Like a lot of stabbings. Like tons. Like a stupid amount. They don't have gun crime, like at all, because guns are banned there. But you know, crime, assaults.
Aren't knives also supposed to like be at least
Oh, yeah.
licensed?
Yeah, now it wasn't always that case. Knives are a lot easier to get a hold of anyway. Honestly, just naturally, like it's a knife. You can make it out of wood.
Yeah,
You
I
can't
know.
make a
Like,
gun out of wood, but you can make a knife real easy.
you can make it out of
You know what I mean?
stone. You can just make it out of anything. And then if you have
You
a
need
wood
it.
knife, it makes it much easier to make your other knives. Because like if you're making
You-
it out of wood,
You
just
need
whittle
it.
down
You
the
need a
wood.
kitchen knife. Like everyone has a kitchen knife. It's impossible not to have
You
one. Just
gotta
don't use
use your
someone
butter
else's kitchen knife.
knives.
You butter knives, yeah. Fucking monster killer. Fucking zombie slayer boy. Anyway, so in England, they have a lot of stabbings. A lot. And England is effectively just George Orwell's nightmare, effectively, because it's getting worse. Like surveillance, they're, you know, putting cameras in places. One guy got arrested because he didn't want them videotaping them. Which is sketchy, and like they were doing like all this like STV or SCTV or whatever the fuck you call it, where like they're watching people and like
Oh, the
they recognize
CCTV.
yeah, like facial recognition and shit like that for crimes and crap. It's really worrying that they're watching you everywhere you go, and because they banned guns and people commit crime with other things, shocker, they've been using knives. Now, they've been trying to lower knife crime. So what Sadiq Khan, the mayor of London, decided to do the first time was he would stop and search because it's racist. Because you're stopping black people, and stopping black people is racist because you don't like them because they're black. Insert who would have guessed here. So then guess what happened, Hoska? When he stopped stop and search. Do you know what stop and search is?
I'm guessing you stop them and you search them.
Yeah, effectively, it's just random stopping. You see someone walking, stop them. You see what they got on them. You know, for reasonable cause.
Even if
of
the
course.
idea isn't to have that like racist, that's inherently gonna turn that way because people are gonna have biases towards certain people.
Well, if you find a knife on them, you find a knife on them. And usually it's just a kitchen knife, and then you go, whatever. But if you see a kid walking around with a machete, a little weird, a little odd, a little strange.
He's going
Especially
on
in
an
London.
adventure through the woods.
You know, through the woods. Yeah, all the bamboo everywhere. But anyway, knife crime went way up. Stabbings went fucking skyrocketed. And then guess what Sadiq Khan did? He brought back stop and search and increased the amount. So Sadiq's racist.
It
Khan is
increased the amount that he did that.
Yeah, he increased stop and search from what it was
Okay.
before. So he's racist now.
All
But
right.
that actually didn't help a whole lot, believe it or not. Like, it helped. But there's still a lot of stabbings. And no one fully sure knows. Everyone has opinions on it. Some say it's fatherless. Some say it's poverty. Some say it's because they've been disenfranchised by the racist patriotic system. You know, that's ruining the refugees and black people's lives. So, now, They had an ingenious plan, the Conservative Party. Fucking brain god. They're like, how do we speak to young black people on what they could be doing instead of killing each other with knives? Where would you go, Haska, if you wanted to speak to to black children? Because that's majority what these stabbings are, sadly.
Okay, if I wanted to speak to black children, I would go to. I don't know. I'd go. I don't know. You could speak to them at a rap concert. A lot of black children like rap.
Fried chicken, Haska. You put it on the
Oh,
fried chicken bucket.
that's where the chicken comes in.
Yes, you put little notes about how insert blank here became a basketball player instead of stabbing his friends to death.
Wait. Is that really what they did?
Yes,
They
and the buckets came without plastic knives.
wait.
They were knifeless chicken buckets with little anecdotes about why you shouldn't kill your friends with fucking knives. Why you shouldn't have gang wars with knives. And like, it's like the thing that infuriates me isn't so much the obvious racial undertones, which like I guess to a degree you could argue, well, this may be unpleasant, but that's where you typically find them. And I'm like, okay, but like, come on, man. Like anyone getting anecdote from the bottom of a fried chicken box is automatically just gonna not believe it. Like
Wait, is that
you're
the bottom of
automatically
it? It's
gonna
not
be
even on like the
skeptical.
side.
I'm not English.
Oh,
I assume it's on the bottom because that's what they usually do, like bottom of the cap or yada
yeah.
yada. So you eat all the fried chicken and they're like, oh, you know what I mean?
When they go to look for that last piece of fried chicken, even though they just ate
Yeah,
it.
yeah, exactly. I would have thought, well, you're not just focusing on, you're not targeting the black kid. You're targeting the knife stabber, the stabby man, the little stabby stab, right? So I figured you would like to schools or just various communities or had PSAs on TV. Everyone watches TV. You know what I mean? Well, me not in England because you have to buy a license.
Yeah,
You
you
got
need
a
a
license.
license. What are you talking about?
Got a
That's not a good
license
way
for
to
that
get to them.
TV. You need to pay for our propaganda to indoctrinate you. Okay? What do you not want to hear about the transgender black woman, I guess, that wants to tell you about how white people are inherently evil and racist and born evil? You don't want to hear that from your government? Fucking racist. Okay? Pay that license if you want to watch fucking
Transphobic?
Friends. Yeah. Some like some person who was got like fired from L'Oreal was talking about how like white people are born racist and like it's just in their genes effectively. And
Yeah,
this was like
I'm
government.
so racist.
This was the BBC paying for this. The citizens were paying to hear about how evil they are for just existing. They're inherently supremacist and patriarchal and yada yada. So anyway, they picked a fried chicken box. Like they should have known that wouldn't pan out like at all. You know what I mean?
Why did they
Like
choose watermelon?
literally, that was a joke someone made, and I don't like the guy who made it. David Lammy. I don't like him. I think he's kind of a nozzle. He gets mad about white actors going to Africa and spending time with the children and like helping them because he sees it as a white savior complex. But I'm like, well, I mean, the kids are poor.
I think
And
that's more a thing of like I have resources, they don't. I'll
and
help
they're
them out.
English, and English people are typically white. Now, I realize living in London, you may not realize this because it's a very uh, racially diverse place, uh, to the point where there are more outsiders than insiders. So, like, a lot of Londoners wouldn't identify as British. They don't like Haska. You're American, correct?
Yeah.
You don't identify as gay. Well, you do, but or what Gaylordish,
Yeah, I don't
Gaylordian.
identify as a Gaylordian.
Yeah, exactly, right. Whereas they identify themselves as Londoners, right? Because that's where they're from. They're not really they're English at most, but they don't share an identity with the nation. They don't hold the same values. A lot of the people in London are communists. It's honestly like just England's whole entire Liberal Party is communist. Like literally the Labour Party's head, Jeremy Corbyn, is literally a communist. Like literally a fucking communist. Like he said Stalin was a cool guy, and like he called like the president of Venezuela, and he's the revolution's going fantastic, comrade. As his citizens beat a cow to death and eat it. Like just eat your bunnies. No, you can't just eat. Anyway, he's a scumbag. Okay, everything about England is a fucking shit show. Okay, you're getting arrested for saying bad words. A girl was put under house arrest. Fucking house arrest. For saying that, for quoting, sorry, a rap song in honor of some kid who liked the song and died, or whatever, and it had the N-word in it. And so, big whoopee-doo, big thing, put her under house arrest, charge her, fine her. Was it like 2,000 pounds? Something like that? Count Dankula getting arrested for his pug.
A song?
Yeah. Posting a rap lyric on like Instagram or Snapchat or something.
That's...
Yeah. Yeah, England's a shit show. It's a fucking joke. A homeless man getting arrested for having a water gun under gun laws. It's bullshit. England's a fucking meme. And what's the prime solution to solving stabbings? Chicken boxes. Because when I want to have a heart to heart, I want to have a true emotional connection and be convinced what you're doing is bad and it's going to only end up bad for you. I think KFC. I think greasy ass chicken. Speaking to me on a personal level on the bottom of a box. On a bucket. A bucket of fried chicken. It's so fucking bad.
You gotta speak to him somehow.
Christ. Oh, I wonder whose idea that was. But now that we're on England and we're done with the shit show that is England, we can use England as a bounce off point. So, Haska, have you ever heard, you probably have, of the royal family?
Oh, yeah, totally.
Definitely, yeah. Who's a part of the royal family, Haska? Do you know?
The names of the people? Names? Specifically? No. I don't know names, no.
Possibly. Okay, well, you got your girl, Queen Elizabeth II, right? You got Prince Charles, right? You got that new boy Henry. Yeah, you got the new boy William. But there's a boy in between those two. An older boy. His name's Andrew. His name's Prince Andrew. And Prince Andrew, he's a very talented man. I hear he gives the best ventriloquist shows. The best. I hear he is a master puppeteer. Fucking Geppetto would have nothing on this man. He's a talented son of a fucking bitch, okay? And do you know why he's so good at puppeteering?
I'm not aware why he's so good at puppeteering.
He's had a lot of practice. Now, his practice partner was a girl that I only know the first name of. And it's probably Susie. I don't actually know. The list wasn't so good. See, Andrew, he really liked flying. And he was really close friends with a guy named Epstein. And Epstein has had a very rough ride as of late. Not anymore. Now his ride is smooth sailing. Smooth sailing. It's good.
Oh, it's
stationary as all fuck, but it's good. It's even.
He's stuck out in the middle of the ocean, but it's nice weather out there.
Everyone else is feeling a bit shaky about it, though. Let me tell you why. So, you probably know this, and as most people probably already know, Epstein, our boy, our child, our prince, thank you, he was connected to a giant fucking scandal revolving around his Lolita Express. Now, the Lolita Express was effectively his child trafficking ring where he would get high-end officials to go on his jet and have intimate relations with children from the ages of, I believe it was 6 to 14, I believe. Anywhere in between there. Probably younger, probably older. Honestly, I don't know. No, not a whole lot of information out there. But Epstein was finally brought in for it. He was already caught once before. But he got away with just like community service and a small fine. Like he was in like the jail for like one day. I can't remember who it was. It was like the governor of like, was it? No, it wasn't Cuomo. It was someone else. Anyway, somebody I can't remember. I can go digging for it later. Actually, you can dig through it while I try to find out what it
All
is.
right,
Just look up Epstein let off first charging 2 years ago, something like that.
All right.
Okay. But anyway, so he was let off the first time, but he was caught a second time, and finally brought in and actually charged. And it was given the fucker's going to jail. He's done. Game over. It's a game over, man. Game over. It's done. Okay. And so Epstein, being the brave man he is,
You said it was
squealed.
2 years ago?
Roughly.
Okay.
He squealed like a fucking pig, which I'm glad. And he made a big ass list of various people who took a ride on his jet. And there were a lot, and I mean a lot, of people on that fucking list. Prince Andrew being one of them. And I would say literally the day after, like the day after, he offs himself. I'm doing that with air quotes, big ones. But he offs himself. Oh, I forgot the state, by the way. Me and Haska, okay, I'm sure Haska will agree with this. We both love the Clinton Foundation. We
Oh
think that
yeah.
she should have been president. And honestly, everything they say about her, total hearsay. All of the cases make total and complete sense. There is not a single thing wrong with any of them. Nothing fishy at all. And anyone who would question it is just a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
Just a loon. Just a crazy person.
They're crazy. It's just they're just really lucky that everybody who happens to be an enemy to them commits suicide or has an exercising accident.
Yeah, dumbbells falling from the sky. It just happens.
Yeah. Like,
but
it happens. It's all natural.
They're just conspiracy theorists. They're Alex Jones. Yeah, Alex Jones was right about this one and a few other cases, and everyone thought he was crazy. But hey, whatever. Conspiracy theorists, Looney Tune, loony men. Okay. So anyway, Epstein winds up dead. Now, Epstein had tried to kill himself once before. Now, of course, his lawyers and him both claim that he wasn't actually trying to kill himself. It was his prison mate that tried to kill him, but it just didn't quite work out because he resisted and someone came at the wrong time, yada yada. And then he killed himself like 2 weeks later. He was put on suicide watch and he was effectively the most prized.
Now, didn't they supposedly
inmate.
pull him off suicide watch like the night before he killed himself?
No, about a week before.
Oh, but really? I thought it was really soon.
No, well, soon, like a week, like a few days is pretty soon.
That is,
especially for, again, he was a prized individual. Like he was big. Like this is like one of the biggest cases in recent history. A giant cabal of high-end people, billionaires, high government officials, literally the Prince of England was involved in this giant fucking pedophile ring, and there was an island and everything. He was cherished. And they take him off suicide watch. And they only check him every 30 minutes. But the day he died, they didn't check him for about 4 hours. They went on break, but only one of the guards was actually a guard. And there's only 2 of them, and the cameras mysteriously stopped working right around the time he died. And there's no real reason why.
No,
and
I've also heard that people have said that they heard another person in that room with him.
Oh, yeah. So there's been 2 conflicting witnesses, 2 different people who were in prison near him. Oh, I should also say his inmate was moved not long before he died. One says they heard absolutely nothing, not a single fucking sound, and the other one heard a lot of wheezing and grunts and yelps and shit like that coming from Epstein around the time of his death. Now you may be wondering, whoa, why were there such contrasting things? Well, eventually the story that was settled upon was that they heard the guards yelling, "Breathe, Epstein, breathe. It's okay, Epstein, you can breathe." Now, I find it odd that you would be yelling that to somebody. It almost sounds like, in one hand, They're fucking strangling him to death, and then their heads turned, yelling out the window, "Breathe, Epstein! It's okay, you can breathe." While the guy's going, "Gah, gah, gah, gah." You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
hey, that's just hearsay. It's alleged. Okay,
So
alleged.
the guards,
Allegedly.
you said? I thought the guards were on break.
Yeah, they came back and when they found him,
Oh,
breathe,
okay. They
Epstein,
happened
breathe.
to find him.
Some shit like
Okay,
that.
that's what happened.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. The story doesn't make much sense, but fuck it. Fuck it. Okay?
Yeah, that's full of a lot of plot holes, but
Fuck it. Fuck it. Normal, okay? Normal shit, okay? And so he's dead. And there's a theory because someone took a picture when his body was being rolled out. For some reason, they didn't cover him. I don't get why. But the picture had his face from the side, and people noticed that his nose didn't look the same as his nose from other pictures of him when he was alive. Now you have two comparison theories. One theory,
okay. I think I know one of them. One of them is that they found a body double, and
bingo, bingo, in that the actual Epstein is shifted away, and their rationale is something like they want his money or yada yada, and he's more to them alive than dead.
well, the
And the
thing
other one
about it is like if they wanted to find a body double for him, they very easily could. He
oh yeah,
could find his
probably.
own body double. He's rich.
But what I would say is he's already squealed, and dead men tell no tales. And he could squeal more because obviously he hadn't squealed completely. And even if he does make a list with him not alive, he can't testify at an actual court case.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It'll just be a list.
And these people are already wealthy. They don't need his money. And it's riskier to have him live. What if someone sees him talks? You know how many people it take to actually shift him out? Like the people who are moving the body?
Yeah.
The more people you get involved in it, the more risky it gets. These people aren't exactly good at it. And we'll get into that later. And so the other theory is just that he's dead. You know what happens, Haska, when your body ceases to live?
A lot of things.
It falls apart. The chemical reactions keep your body together. Like just your muscles.
Yeah.
Moving requires ATP and shit. Your ATP is produced through oxygen, sugar, yada yada. You ain't breathing because you're dead. You ain't producing oxygen. Your blood ain't moving. Nothing's happening. Your cells are gonna start dying, and so everything kind of goes. It starts to shed out, right? You bloat and you deflate at the same time. You bloat because the gas built in, because all your organs are kind of liquefying, right?
And then
so you bloat because of all the gas, but your cells themselves are kind of turning to mush. They're kind of, right? So you get like this weird deflated purpley kind of look. And so a lot of people think that it's just his nose is cartilage and skin, none of it's bone, right? Because it's your nose, right? And so the skulls are going to start dying, and your nose is going to go and deflate, right? It's going to slurp down. Because the size of his nose looked kind of similar. It's just his nose was kind of more curved and kind of, right? So the theory, and the one I believe personally, is that he's just dead, right? Your body just isn't going to hold up. You know what I mean? And so, not long after, a few days later, a journalist had apparently had a run-in with someone who was wearing a bulletproof vest and was making comments like, "Oh, there's too many people here. Should I run them over? Or don't videotape me? Or you don't want to do that?" And yada yada. Really sketchy shit. And the island had a bunch of computers everywhere and shit like that, and statues and crap. All those are gone now. They were all removed, and the police hadn't investigated at the time, so that's worrying. People are still on the island acting like their lives are, which is a little weird, or they were. I don't know about anymore. And now everyone's throwing out accusations of connected to it in various testimonies. One of which being something that Prince Andrew did. Yeah, we're back on our boy. Now, you remember how Prince Andrew was a good puppeteer, correct?
I do remember how you were talking about that, yes.
Yes. Well, Prince Andrew, he knows how to pick up chicks. He's a fucking Chad. And if you can, afterwards, post a picture. Put a picture on there of Prince Andrew, if you can. He'll be there right about now. Okay, now he's gone. Yeah. Say bye to Prince Andrew. Hopefully.
Everybody wave goodbye.
Hopefully he won't disappear like he did on our thing. You know what I mean? Big think.
Ooh.
So. Christ. So Prince Andrew, he's a fucking pussy slayer, okay? Or at least his puppet is. So when he's on the plane, he was hitting on some girl by touching her inappropriately with the puppet and saying what he was going to do to her. Oh, oh, Timmy likes those tiny little juicy titties. Ooh, like that, right? Really weird man. It's just imagine that voice coming from the man. Christ, fucking terrible. And so he's always been known as kind of a weird guy, but now he's even like more of a fucking degenerate, apparently. Or I guess he always was. But now we're gonna start moving on to some of what we think happened to. Everyone thinks Epstein was, air quotes, suicided, correct? So you may be wondering, then, who did it? Who killed him? Well, there's two very popular, I guess, hashtags on Twitter right now. You have the Clinton body count and the Trump body count, because there always has to be a political. And to be fair, Trump was a friend with Epstein until he kicked him out of his hotel for flirting with some like teenager or something like that. And
That's
so there's contrasting.
to kick someone out of your hotel, yeah.
Yeah, understandably. But it's worry. But some people think, he was just trying to cover himself. He was being too blatant about it. He didn't want to get the rap for it, which does make sense. And there's another group that, of course, that partisanship. It's all partisan bullshit, right? And so I will admit that if he does have anything to do with it, he's a fucking cunt, like to the highest order, like more than anyone thinks he is now. Obviously, it's right. But in Hillary's case, the Clintons, this isn't just a partisan thing. There's a lot of evidence. And so now I will talk about the Clinton body count. So there are a lot, and I mean a lot, of cases of people dying. Roughly, what was it, like 50, 51? Yeah, 51 deaths. 51 deaths connected to them. That's normal, right, Haska? How many deaths do you have connected to him? How many friends and loved ones of yours have died in very suspicious ways?
In suspicious ways?
Yeah, like suicided in the back of the head.
No.
Died in a plane crash.
Okay, I've got about 0.
Me too. I'm eating because I'm a pussy, and I can't wait.
Yeah, you gotta starve during the podcast.
Oh, how dare I? So, one woman, she was pregnant at the time. She was found dead via suicide. And now, Oscar, tell me, if you planned on committing suicide, would you pack all your bags? Would you pack away all your clothes into a bag, everything important to you?
What's the
point? A bunch of luggage bags.
I'm gonna be dead.
Exactly. So that's what this lady did, though. Interesting. I know.
Huh.
And her fiance was fucking adamant that she did not kill herself. He wound up dead about a month later at her gravestone, also suicided. Now, that's not the worst one. One lady was found dead with a bullet wound in the back of her head. Suicide. Shot herself in the back of the head. That's not even a meme. That's real. That actually happened. That is an actual fucking thing. Another one.
That's how I'd kill myself.
That's how I could, fucking just put a shotgun back of my head. Bang, bang.
Bam.
Shoot myself twice.
Twice with the shotgun, yeah.
Back of the head. But the lady was found naked, bruised, and beaten in her office I believe it was the Ministry of Finance, with the door locked. Cause of death unknown. One guy was found decapitated. Died of natural causes. One dude died in a plane crash, but he had a weird gunshot-shaped wound in the back of his head. And now y'all may be wondering, well, how these people connected to Clinton? Well, various ones of them all were in some way connected to cases that would have exposed them for crimes via sexual assault or, laundering or something to do with the Clinton Foundation, which is sketchy enough as it is. Like, did you know that they took money from, I guess it's Qatar, I guess is what the people call it, which is and they have connections to the Islamic Brotherhood.
Oh, I've heard about that one, yeah.
Yeah. So they're paying. They took donations from them, and so the Clinton Foundation effectively is just a way for the Clintons to take bribes from various countries. So effectively, they've been bribed by basically everybody.
Ah, everyone.
Basically everybody. Like Trump paid them to go to his wedding.
I mean, that's how you get money, dude. If
That's how you get
if I could make money to go to weddings, I'd be going to weddings all the time.
money. He's got to work out as a male escort, man. Desperate chicks who don't want to be single.
Ah, yeah.
They
That
think.
you know what? I'm in the wrong profession. Shut down the whole
Mhm.
podcast. I'm gonna go be a male escort.
Low profession podcast.
Yeah, I know.
Everyone knows you ain't making fucking money, especially on fucking YouTube. Fuck that noise.
Yeah, I know. Especially on us.
Yeah, what everything we're talking about, and the fact we have like no viewers.
All
Anyway,
2 of them. Thanks for the views.
all 2 of them. But yeah, no. So a lot of fucking people have died in their connection, and of course Trump probably has some too. Not anything crazy. His connection with Epstein is a little concerning, but Epstein had a connection with a lot of people. And it was really interesting too, because how do you think you start your job? You think you start from the bottom and you work right at the top, right? So basic everything. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
Epstein started at the top. And it wasn't like he came from a long line of like wealthy people. He started off as a teacher. He taught math in like schools. But some guy took liking to him and then boom, rise to the top of society. And now it comes out he's connected to fucking like pedophilia rings and shit. Shit's crazy. And the craziest thing is Alex Jones was right all along. That's the scary thing.
Alex Jones, of all people, was right.
Imagine what else he's fucking right about. I'm worried. He's always going on about fucking like satanic cults and shit, and they're like trying to talk with fucking like transdimensional beings by taking DMT and shit.
Dude,
You know what I mean?
if there are transdimensional beings and goblins and whatnot, and he's right about it.
Maybe that's what he was talking about when he said Trump was going to kiss a goblin. He'll give him a kiss, but give him a little stab. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
This, ooh.
But like, yeah, no, like even like the most milquetoast fucking like YouTuber, it's like Crowder has fucking Alex Jones on nowadays. Like that's the world we live in. That's what's happening. Because that's how crazy this shit is. I it boggles. It boggles my fucking mind. And I'm trying to keep sure that I don't get any kimosabe. Dead air. I don't want any of that. I don't want any dead air. I ain't fucking one of those blood sports niggas. You probably don't even know who that is, but it was a thing community. Anyway. Do name Tanaka. Anyway, back to the bullshit. So I'm very, very interested in everything that has happened with this Epstein case. And I have fair confidence that no one's really gonna get charged for it. This is the world we live in.
Yeah, you don't got Epstein to testify about it or anything. It's
Yeah, the majority of the evidence is hearsay.
so they're probably just gonna let him off.
Probably. Unless they can find the tapes, because a lot of people believe that Epstein videotaped them boning the little kids to use as leverage. Because Epstein was stealing money from one of his clients. Millions of dollars. Millions. Haska, what would you do if you found out someone working for you was stealing millions of dollars from you? Under your nose?
Well, if I had millions of dollars and they were stealing millions of dollars from me, first off, they're not working for me anymore. Second, if I'm a Clinton, they're probably gonna suicide.
Coincidentally enough, in Epstein's case, nothing happened to him. He got to keep the money. He only gave back about 10% of it to the guy.
That's not normal.
And the guy let him do it. And this guy has been on his jet. Speaking of which, Bill Clinton's been on his jet 27 times.
Wait, I'm sorry. Could you repeat that?
Bill Clinton has been on Epstein's jet 27 times.
27.
27 times. It has been confirmed that he has been on his jet 27.
Oh my god, that's a lot of times to be on that jet.
But he didn't see anything. Just Olga. Just Olga, the Russian lady. Fucking 50 years old, gave him a massage. Olga. That was a different guy, but probably Bill Clinton too. I bet he'd agree. Olga. Because everyone knows Bill Clinton loves the older ladies. That's why he was fucking his 22-year-old secretary and had that giant scandal. Because he loves the older lady. Loves him. Olga. Oh, so hot. Olga. fucking worldly living. So yeah, no, a lot of people think that he was videotaping them to get information on them, and that he was working for various companies. And of course, everyone connects it to Israel. Everyone connects everything to Israel nowadays.
Yeah, everything's connected to Israel.
Yeah, fucking everything. Fuck it. Fucking why you drop that Big Mac? Israel. Fucking hell. But yeah, no, just imagine that. Just whispering in your ear, just like, "Hello, Mr. President. You enjoying that mouth of that 5-year-old boy? I have a favor to ask of you, Mr. President." Insert thing here, because he has been connected to various prime ministers and presidents and such. It's crazy. And of course, this is just the information we have now, because a lot of it's under wraps, right? And the majority of it's, top secret bullshit, right?
Yeah, we're not allowed to know. We're just commoners.
Yeah, although
Peasants.
a lot of it gets leaked because it's too big of a case. And if we've learned from anything about the internet, if fucking 4chan can fucking solve cold cases, I'm pretty sure actual relevant people can help with the biggest fucking scandal of our generation.
Dude, it's crazy what you can do through the internet. Did you I forgot who it was, but they flew a flag and all you could see was stars and some planes fly over every now and then. Somebody found the flag, took it down and replaced it because they measured the star patterns and how they were moving, and then the flights, they checked all that stuff to see when a flight was going over certain areas.
Yeah, the "He Will Not Divide Us" stream via Shia LaBeouf. Oh man, that was some of the best fucking content ever. Shia didn't intend it to be, but it was good shit. I loved it with a passion. Some of the best shows ever aired. My favorite season was season 1. As all good seasons. Jackie 4chan and fucking what was it? Arab Jesus.
Arab Jesus.
Oh, Jihadi Jesus. Sorry.
He was a jihad.
Yeah, Jihadi Jesus. Yeah, he sung Snake Eater at 3:00 in the morning in front of the stream. I live my life. That guy. Yeah, amazing man. I can't sing. So no, that's been the Epstein bullshit. There's not a whole lot more to it, but that's what we know now. And then now for my final topic for today. What do you want me to touch on? You want me to touch on Canadian politics? You want me to touch on something that's going on in the hellhole that is California and should honestly cease?
You know what? I'm always up for talking about California.
No, not done, bitch. Okay, last one, Hong Kong. Talk about what's going on in Hong Kong. And I'll probably end up going back to California because I hate that place. San Francisco is the fucking the devil's ass crack. It's meant to die.
We could always come back to. There could probably be a whole episode about just California. I'm curious about Hong Kong.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, Hong Kong has been having a lot, and I mean a lot, of fucking protests lately. It's bad.
Yeah, I've heard a bit about how there have been protests.
A lady lost her fucking eye. For Christ's sakes.
Jeez.
Because Hong Kong wants to remain, to some degree, independent of China. They want to be communist, effectively, understandably. They want to be shit like the rest of the world. But, of course, China, if they let them get away with it, who else are they to get away with, right? It's they worry about that slippery slope. They want Hong Kong to secede like Taiwan has separated from them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so there's been a lot of protests and riots, and it's getting really worrisome because Hong Kong does this thing called, it's a credit score.
Oh, the social credit?
Yeah.
I know
So
all about the social credit, where it's
then
like, oh,
then
if you follow this religion, I'm sorry, your credit's going down. Oh, I'm sorry, we don't really people don't really like you. Your kids can't go to that school. And if people don't like you, you're not allowed to leave the country because you can't get on that plane.
you want to take the subway? How high is your credit score? You want to go to work? You want this job? How high is your credit score? Not even credit score. Sorry, social credit score. My corrections.
Which is kind of funny because when I heard about this, it was very soon after I watched a specific episode of Black Mirror called Nosedive.
Literally, like it's literally an episode of Black Mirror, and I hate that show.
Yeah, the thing is, that's the only episode I've seen of it, and it's literally the social credit system that China has going on, but a little more technologically advanced.
And more practical.
Because it's like people just like vote on people and like how much they like them. They give them like out of a 5-star rating, and that depends on like what houses you can buy, what price you have to pay for certain stuff, and like all that.
Mm-hmm.
It's it's literally an episode of Black Mirror, is what's going on in China.
Yeah, no, it's life is absurd. But Hong Kong's resisting, thank God. But no one's really talking about it because everyone was too busy with Beto. Oh, not Beto. Sorry, Cuomo. Yeah. Do you know about that?
I do not know about that.
Okay, so Cuomo. Really boring shit, honestly. I don't really actually give a fuck. He's a CNN anchor. So you can already kind of assume what he's like.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And
I have a good idea now.
some guy called him Fredo. And so he threatened to throw him down the stairs. And he started talking like a Goomba, which was weird because he doesn't talk like that. But he started talking like, hey, what the like that kind of shit. Like, arrivederci, like that kind of guy. You know what I mean? You fucking got dirt on my coat. Like I can't do an Italian accent, but just imagine I did.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, and he started like threatening like throw him down the stairs like a punk or whatever the fuck, and like a bunch of bullshit because like he said that Fredo was the equivalent of the N word for Italians, which I mean, if it was, you would have said the F word. Like, you know what I mean? I would have heard of it before. Fredo being the cowardly son in Godfather. I know it was you, Fredo, like that kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
So he's calling him a dumbass and a coward, right? He's just insulting him.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, like it's just. And so of course it's the same guy who like defends Antifa and says like they're fighting for a good cause and a bunch of bullshit. Like he's just a douchebag, just a douchebag. Okay. So everyone's focused on that, but like no one's, but like it's like that's like at the top of like all the Twitter hashtags, but not one was like about Tokyo. And like everyone's thinking, well, oh, it's definitely because people just care about this drama and bullshit, right? No one actually cares about what's actually happening. In my opinion, that's not the case. In my opinion, Twitter's suppressing it because Twitter wants to appease their Chinese overlords because God forbid they don't get those China bucks. Because China will just make an alternative to Twitter that's Chinese and follows all the Chinese laws because that's what they do for everything. Insert Tencent, who now owns Epic Games, and they're pushing their Epic Games launcher, which is basically just spyware. They're making all these games exclusives. The feature itself is like really shit, and all the journal companies are trying to support Epic Games, and the gamers are just mad and yada yada. Oh, it's free. Well, so is Steam, and Steam isn't spyware. It's owned by fucking Tencent and has way more content than fucking Epic.
Steam is just much better.
Much better. Yeah.
If you've looked at the Epic Games launcher, it's not very pretty.
It's bad. It's literally just bad.
Gross looking.
It's literally lacking shit. I don't even know if they've added the fact that have they added that you can buy two things at once?
I don't know.
Neither do I.
I don't think they have.
Mm-mm. And they have this shit with like fucking Borderlands, where like you have to like fucking you can't pre-download the content. So like if you like pre-purchase it, Epic Games doesn't have the ability to like download the files and then just stop you from playing it until you like download the last file on the day it's released and play the game because it just downloads like one little file.
That's
it's standard. It's like literally the standard for like everything.
Yeah,
PlayStation can do it. Xbox,
you
Steam.
can do it on the Switch.
Everyone.
I did it on the Switch when Xenoblade Chronicles was coming out.
Exactly. Can't do that on Epic. Can't. Just flat out can't.
You just can't
Borderlands
do
2.
it.
Borderlands 3, sorry. You just can't do it. Epic is just objectively worse in every fucking way. It's literally spyware. Can't
But
do
you
it.
could get Alan Wake for free for like 2
Woo.
weeks.
I sure do love Alan Wake. God fucking hell. China needs to fucking... It needs to be weakened in some way. It's like with whole Trump's fucking tariff wars, which I realize tariff wars don't really help anybody, but he's winning, at least. And I really don't like China. I really don't.
China.
China.
China, because China.
He doesn't like China, but he does like their wall. He's a big fan of that. Big, magnificent wall.
Oh, yeah.
Christ.
Law.
Fuck. I feel like every single podcast is just going to end me with me being like, well, the world's fucked. Well, life's over.
Life's over because Hong Kong.
Life's over because Hong Kong. But you know, it's just so funny because they were literally like waving around American flags during their protest.
That's why I saw that.
And the irony being that the citizens of a communist country love America. The citizens of a capitalist country love China. Like, what fucking world do we live in? Where the fucking California's like, oh man, communism is fucking amazing. We should have it. This is fucking banging. And meanwhile, in a communist country, oh my god, please save us from this oppressor's regime. Oh, it's not real communism. It's never real communism. Okay, California, please secede from the existence of the world and just fucking like sink into the ocean. A earthquake, please.
How long did they got for that?
Ken Ham, right? If he was right, California was sunk like years ago. God would have done us the big favor and just went fucking shaboom. I made a mistake.
Isn't California supposed to fall under anyways because like fault lines and stuff?
Yeah, exactly. That's my point.
So when is that happening? When?
Hopefully soon.
I know. I want the show.
You know, people tell me, "Oh, Dylan, oh, they're people, yada yada." Debatable. Can you really call communists people?
They're barely people in California.
This just in: 2 alt-right gay men.
Oh man, are our 2 viewers gonna sell us out?
Oh yeah. Support the extermination of all Californians. Oh, the alt-right is rise in America. Despite me not being American. The alt-right is rise in America. It's obviously a fucking joke, but fuck it. We need censorship. We need more censorship. Because nothing makes people less violent than being silenced. Because when you have no alternative other than violence, that's when you don't commit violence, correct?
No, here's the thing. What they should have done is when Pong came out, they should have shut it all down.
Honestly.
Then violence wouldn't be a thing, remember?
Violence was invented.
Violence was invented when Pong came out.
Yeah. Pong's just way older than people realize.
Yeah.
They rediscovered Pong, like much like we rediscovered the dinosaurs.
Oh yeah, totally. That's
when they're making the Tower of Babel, they made the Pong board. I was there for it, trust me.
Oh yeah, you were. You probably were. I believe it.
See, that's why I tried telling them. Ken Ham doesn't believe me, but I'm quite old. See, to the 2 viewers, I probably already know this. You see, the god of death bestowed upon me the gift of reincarnation while keeping my consciousness, and this happened because I genocided all the Neanderthals in my last pork chop. I was fucking pissed, so I just fucking massacred all of them. It was worth it. I got a hard-on from it. Don't tell anyone that though. Shh. Okay. No teddy. But, and so since then, my goal has been to commit as many deaths to stockpile and then thus get more lives. I was Genghis Khan. I was Hitler. I wasn't Stalin. I probably, if I was smart, I would have moved to Russia. But, foresight's a bitch. Hindsight's 2020. I suck at foresight. Boom. There you go. So, I was there. Violence was not a thing until Pong was made. I made Pong. Speaking of which, I will never have to worry about dying because of all the death caused by it. Directly responsible through Pong. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about abortion being aborted a couple lives in a row.
No, not anymore. No, Pong saved me. Thank God. Thank God. But if I get aborted like 20
You're
times in a
welcome.
row, god damn, I'm fucking bad luck Jenner. See, so basically, by being against porn, conservatives are Nazis because I was one, and porn and abortion is bad for me. I don't know why I said porn. I don't get.
I mean, indirectly,
Pong.
porn
That's
could
why.
be because like I don't know, like because
Nothing really.
if they end up getting pregnant, they get an abortion. That could have been you.
Could have been me. Could have been me. But yeah, no. So yeah, that's the current state of the world. Oh God, kill me, Ken. Ken, please.
We need Ken. We need Ken to save us.
Ken.
Ken with the
Ken.
truth.
I can't live for another 2,000 years, Ken.
I mean, maybe in 2,000 years you'll probably be the last human around.
Probably, honestly, if the world took that long to get here, it'd probably take even less to end. See, God likes that. He has a very low span, so he can only have things last that long. Any longer, he gets bored. That's why the end times come so soon.
The end times are coming.
The end times are coming.
They're coming.
Kumin.
They're coming.
But anyway, yeah, no. I'd say we are done for now.
Yeah, that's all the Gay Lovers got for now.
Yeah, pretty much. I've extinguished my load of knowledge on Haska. How do you feel about that?
I feel fantastic about that.
Oh shit!
All right, I better get there.
God.